Brett, good evening to you. Arizona Senator John McCain complained loudly this week that the Senate is not getting the information it deserves about military operations in Niger, and that he is prepared to do whatever it takes to get it. Under the threat of a subpoena for information on the Niger attack, Secretary of Defense James Mattis marched over to Senator John McCain's office today in an effort to open the lines of communication.
I felt that we were not getting sufficient amount of information, and we are clearing a lot of that up now.
We can do better at communication. We can always improve on communication, and that's exactly what we'll do.
Mattis also met with McCain's wingman on the Armed Services Committee, Senator Lindsey Graham.
This war is getting hot in places where it's been cool.
Neither senator nor the secretary shed any more light on what happened in the deaths of 4 American soldiers in Niger, but Pentagon sources tell Fox News the attack against the U.S. Special Forces team began around 11 o'clock in the morning Africa time. The meeting the team had with village elders went longer than expected, which may have given militants time to organize. Armed French aircraft were overhead the ambush within 30 minutes, but could not distinguish between friend and foe and did not fire. At the daily briefing, the White House wouldn't even broach the subject of Niger, citing a review of the ambush.
The president and the nation are grateful for those 4 American heroes, and we won't rest until we get some answers.
The White House also modified its criticism of Democratic Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who listened in on the president's conference call to the widow of Niger victim Sergeant LaDavid Johnson. Chief of Staff John Kelly had called Wilson a, quote, empty barrel for bragging about getting funding for the new FBI building outside Miami during her 2015 dedication speech.
I went to the Speaker Boehner.
A video of that speech shows Wilson didn't talk at all about funding, though she did brag about fast-tracking the naming of the building for 2 FBI agents killed in a 1986 bank robbery shootout.
The president signed the bill into law this past Tuesday, April 7th, 2015, with a bang, bang, bang.
As General Kelly pointed out, if you're able to make a sacred act like honoring American heroes all about yourself, you're an empty barrel.
Under heated questioning about Kelly's recollection of the incident, the press secretary appeared to warn a reporter not to challenge Kelly.
If you want to go after General Kelly, that's up to you, but I think that if you want to get into a debate with a 4-star Marine general, I think that's something highly inappropriate.
President Trump stayed above the fray today, his one public appearance with the UN Secretary General. In an interview with Fox Business's Maria Bartiromo for Sunday Morning Futures and Mornings with Maria, the president reveled in the success of last night's budget vote, but expects blowback from Democratic leaders on tax reform.
But here's the thing, Schumer, I like Schumer, but before he even knows the plan, say, oh, this is for the rich. He doesn't even know what the plan is, and he's screaming it's for the rich. He did it with health care, too. He said, this is for the rich, this is for the rich. You're not going to get your coverage.
The president also dismissed the notion that bickering with members of Congress, even members of his own party like Senator Bob Corker, is hindering his agenda.
No, and sometimes it helps, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens in the end. But I think actually sometimes it helps. Sometimes it gets people to do what they're supposed to be doing. And, that's the way it is.
On tax reform, the president today said that he does support another tax rate for the richest Americans. That would increase the number of tax brackets to 5, up from 3. But, Brett, the president says still better than the current 8. Back to you.
John Roberts live on the North Lawn. John, thanks.